The purpose of 75 Hard is for you not to just get in shape, although you will get in shape. The purpose is for you to harden your mind and to build a mindset that is tuned for you to succeed in all areas of life. No one gives a shit about your struggles. No one gives a shit how hard you have it. And to be completely fucking honest, you don't have it that fucking hard. You're watching this shit on YouTube. You didn't have to search for clean water to drink today. You didn't have to fucking go out and get lucky to find a meal today. So let's get real about how hard shit really is. What's hard is actually doing something about it.
The world will never be fair. The world will never, ever be fucking fair. Someone will always have an easier path than you. You're not special. Fucking 17th place doesn't mean shit. It ain't ever gonna mean shit. And if you think it means shit, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get shit your whole fucking life. That the only thing noble about victimhood is overcoming it. My first 10 years in business, I made $58,000 total. I made $695 a month. First 3 years, I made $0. 3 years, okay? The next 7 years, I made $695 a month for a total of about $58,000 my first 10 years in business. All right, I've struggled. I know what the fucking struggle is. I've been stabbed in the fucking face.
I hope that you understand that every single person that you look at, every single person that you admire, every single person that you aspire to be like is literally just a regular human fucking being like you that has worked their motherfucking ass off. Lots of people have it harder than you. Lots of people have much bigger obstacles than you, and lots of those same motherfuckers have done exactly what you want to do and done it better and taken it further than you. When you sit there and talk about how hard you have it and how hard things are and how hard you're struggling, realize that no one gives a fuck unless you're doing something to overcome it.
You know who has a plan B? Motherfuckers that lose. That's a fact, okay? Every single person that wins big, every single person that you look at, every single person that you're inspired by, every single person that you aspire to be like, they only have one motherfucking plan, and that is they are gonna win or they are gonna die fucking trying, okay? All these people out there talking about, oh, well, if that doesn't work out, I'll just go back to this, which happens to be their miserable life they have now. Those people always lose, and I'll tell you why. There's a real easy reason to understand. Because the people who go all in and leave themselves no other option but success, those people are dedicating all their skills, all their resources, all their energy into producing a specific outcome. And if you're competing against someone who's going all in with every resource they have, and you're only going half in because you're half in and you're half fucking out, guess what? You're gonna lose. So you guys out there with your plan B mentality, you need to take that shit, crumple it up, and set it on fire, because all it's gonna get you is more of what you already have. The real problem, which by the way, no one ever talks about, is that everywhere we look at society, we celebrate victimhood. We are no longer celebrating people who put in the work. We are no longer celebrating people who overcome. Instead, we are celebrating people who have the saddest story. Well, let me tell you something, guys. You can compete for that your entire life and nobody's gonna bring you a motherfucking thing except a couple likes and a couple bullshit comments that people don't mean. The real winners are still and always will be the people who aren't immune from obstacles, but instead see obstacles as an opportunity to get better. They see this as the path to winning, and they are right. If you're sitting there at home and you're posting sad story after sad story after sad story, realize that that's all you're ever gonna fucking have. And I would suggest that instead of seeing life through the perspective of who's going to be the biggest winner of the losers, start being who's going to be the biggest winner, because it shows people, the people who are coming after you in this life, what's possible.
Most people never succeed in life because they're waiting for conditions to be perfect. They're waiting for the sun to shine, the temperature to be right, all the stars to align, and then have some sort of sign that tells them to go. And I'm here to tell you guys that will never happen. Conditions will never be perfect. Things will never align. There will always be a reason for you to put off what should be done right now for a later time. That is a success and life truth. Things are always gonna be off. You're never gonna have to do something. You're always gonna be able to find a reason as to put it off. That's what people do that lose. Winners are gonna go regardless of what the circumstances are, and losers are always gonna wait until the perfect time. And you understand that the perfect time will never come, which is why they never become anything. You are going to have days that are hard. You're going to have days where you don't want to do what needs to be done. You are going to have days where you would literally rather fucking die than do what you're supposed to do. You'd rather stay in bed all day. I get it, dude. I am no different, and anybody who performs on a high level is no different. The only difference is that the work gets done regardless of the circumstances. And the point that I really want you guys to understand today, it's always hardest and most difficult right before the good shit. Okay, you've all heard the saying, it's always darkest before the dawn. That is a truth. And that's not just a truth in this program, it's a truth in your journey of life, in your pursuit of success, in your pursuit of winning whatever it is that you're trying to win. Today might be really fucking hard for you. Today might be one of those days where you have to push through consciously, literally every minute of your day. We all have the days where literally every single moment is a conscious push, is a forceful action. And those days really aren't that fun. But let me tell you guys, those are the days that build you. Those are the days that make you strong. Those are the days that your success and your future and your dreams are built upon. So cherish those days, those difficult, hard days. Learn to appreciate them, because everything else great in your life is going to be built off of those days. And the benefit is, right after those days, you're going to have a little bit of sunshine. That little bit of sunshine might last for a day, might last for a week. Stay focused, stay committed, don't compromise, don't cut corners, and when you have to, force yourself through. You're going to be thankful that you did. Tell me one thing in your life that is great that came as a result of being comfortable. Because everywhere I look and everywhere I see in today's society, everybody's doing everything they can to be more comfortable. They're looking for the more convenience. They're looking for the quicker. They're looking for the faster. And see, there's opportunity in that for those of you that want to get better. Because I'm going to tell you right now, all the great things in my life, all the great things in other high achievers' lives, all the reasons that these successful people that you look up to, that you aspire to be like, are the way they are, have all come from a place of being uncomfortable. That's just a fact, okay? So understand that when you're trying to avoid the pain, when you're trying to avoid the struggle, when you're trying to avoid the hard things in life, you are actively choosing to be average. You are actively choosing to be mediocre, and you are actively choosing to move further away from what you want in life. Because that hardship and that pain and that struggle and that frustration, they give you the skills that will forge you into a motherfucking champion. All right, so remember that shit when you try to take the easy route. The easy route never pays well. The only route in life that pays well is the hard route, the struggle, the pain, the frustration, and the overcoming of those things, the adversity, the struggle,
the hard times, the difficult things, the frustration, those are the things that create our skill sets. Those are the lessons that we learn that give us the skills to then put the skills into play and produce a better life. And if you think about it, it makes sense why we avoid the adversity, right? Like why we run from it. Our whole lives are all, taught around convenience, quick, easy, fast fix. Every piece of marketing that we see out there is about results now. And the truth of the matter is life just doesn't work that way, guys. It's not a realistic way of thinking. There's not one thing that's great in your life that you got without having to push through some, all right? Name me one thing, like one thing that you're super proud of, that you're super enthusiastic about, that you are super prideful about, that you didn't have to fucking earn. We live in a world right now that celebrates victimhood. It's a competition now about who has the biggest challenges, not who's overcome the biggest challenges. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the world is going to reward people who overcome the challenges. So when you see everybody else working to make their life easier, more convenient, basically looking to cut all the hard things out of their life, we could talk about and whine about and cry about everything in our lives, but there's only one thing that's gonna change it, and that's actually taking action towards the place that you wanna go. This is always going to be true. What you put in will produce the output. If you guys don't wake the fuck up and understand what the world's really about, you're gonna lose. And not only are you gonna lose, your kids are gonna lose. And their kids are gonna lose. Because you guys have been indoctrinated by the education system, by your parents, by your teachers, to believe that everything is just going to happen for you. And what I see now is a big group of our population beating on this victim drum and trying to identify what victim group they belong to. And I'm gonna tell you guys can beat on that drum as long and as loud as you want to. You can do it your whole life, and a lot of people do, and you will never win with that. So you have a question to ask yourself. Do you actually want a fulfilling good life? And I'm so tired of seeing people who can't recognize the obvious of that you have a choice. You have a choice. Your choice is to either join this group over here of nobodies and nothings and celebrate nothing with them every fucking weekend and bitch and moan and cry about how everybody fucked you and society fucked you and your job fucked you and your upbringing fucked you and your race fucked you and the government fucked you, and you're gonna fucking go over there and you're gonna be fucking miserable. Someone will always have a more difficult path than you. Regardless of how difficult you think your path is, there's lots of people out there who have had that same path and actually won huge with that path. You're just choosing not to. If you can't understand that you have to make this decision, you are going to be in deep shit come your 30s and your 40s and your 50s. And if you don't believe me, go look at the people in the 30s, 40s, and 50s that you know and listen to what they say. And I guarantee you're going to hear a whole bunch of shit about how the world's unfair, how they got screwed, how their job screwed them, or their wife or husband screwed them. And they're going to have this long list of events that happened to them that have created the scenario that they live in now. And I don't buy that shit. I don't buy it. It's not true. Because what really happened was they gave the fuck up. Because it doesn't matter if you're cooking fucking French fries or making decisions about billion-dollar deals, okay? How you do the job is what matters. And you might be sitting there in McDonald's right now thinking, well, fuck, nobody appreciates that I make these fries extra good every time. It doesn't matter if they appreciate it or not. What matters is if you do it or not, because the next opportunity you have, what you're doing is you're ingraining inside of yourself the ability to do a great fucking job. And when you do a great fucking job and you take pride in your job and the outcome that it produces, guess what happens? You become more valuable. So now you're doing the fries, next week you're doing the fucking tacos and the burgers, okay? And those are good too. Next thing after that, you're asked to manage a shift. You do that, you take the same attention to detail, and you put it in there. All of a sudden, you're on a track, okay? This is how it works. I don't give a fuck how acceptable your excuse is. It's still a fucking excuse. And that's how the world sees it too. The world does not care about your hardships. If it did, the people who have the most hardships would be the most successful. And that's just not the case. It's like people are in competition for who the fuck the biggest victim is, which is a competition for who the biggest fucking loser is gonna be. And I've been a real victim. I got stabbed in the fucking face. I want you to stop thinking of things in terms of sacrifice. And I want you to start thinking in terms of investment, all right? One of the biggest mistakes that you will make as a human on a path to success, whether that success be financially, physically, spiritually, in interpersonal relationships, whatever it is, there's success in all areas. When you think of it as a sacrifice, you're making it extra hard on yourself. And so what I want you to do is I want you to start thinking about investment. And I want you to understand that when you miss the weekends with the guys, or miss the night out with the girls, or you pass on the trip, or you do this, you're not sacrificing anything. You're actually making an investment, because the investment is delayed gratification, and you just haven't seen the payoff yet. All right? So when you miss a night out to work out, you're not sacrificing a night out. You're making an investment in the future. And that investment in the future is going to create a better life. It's going to create more money. It's going to create better relationships. It's going to create a better body. It's going to create more confidence. When you're getting something in return for what you're giving up, it's not really a sacrifice, it's an investment. But the truth of the matter is that when I skip something fun to do something that's hard, I know that there's a payoff coming later. What sounds better? I'm making an investment in my future, or I'm sacrificing the night out with the guys. You're not fucking missing anything. You're not losing anything. You're not giving anything up. That's some bullshit that everybody does their whole fucking life. It's no different than what every other human does. And it's what everybody does. It's not something that you're missing. You're choosing to make an investment in yourself. You're choosing to make an investment in your money. You're choosing to make an investment in your body. You're choosing to make an investment in your relationships. And you need to remember that when you talk to yourself. Because if we constantly tell ourselves that we're sacrificing everything, we're always going to feel empty. We're always going to feel like we're not having anything paid back. We're always going to feel like we're doing all of these things for nothing, which is not the truth. The truth is that we're doing these things for something. If you know that you're going to get up and do this fucking work because it's going to get you this later, and you understand and believe that, and you're making an investment, it becomes that much easier to do. But when you tell yourself, oh man, I'm going to miss, this dinner or this wedding or this trip or this, that, so that I can stay on my program, or I can, focus on my business, or I can do these things. All you ever focus on is what you missed. All you ever focus on is what you're giving up. And if you focus on what you're giving up, you're going to become obsessed with what you're giving up. And eventually that's going to break you, because you're going to be focused on the wrong shit. Start making the investment. Make the investment in you. Build a better life. Be excited about that investment. Know that it's going to produce a result. Remember, you heard this shit first. It's full throttle or no champagne bottle, motherfuckers.